Okay, welcome to episode 15.
In the casting room, or even straight to the producer.
Okay. So you didn't view it as a money-making scheme yet. You were more so saying, this is a way for me to get into the thing I still want to do.
Yes, I saw it as a strategy, so that I could maybe go into a casting room and say,
Ooh.
hey, you wouldn't mind 3 million extra viewers, cast me.
Yeah.
That completely backfired. That did not work at all.
Theme
Well,
Studios.
it's the same reason why I got into
So.
sort of social media medicine. I viewed it as a way that if I started my practice, I could show patients what I'm capable of doing, and they would come in to see me in the office. And now we don't even want that to happen. I want to keep both worlds very separate. So we both started off with aspirations in one direction, but kind of found a fork.
Yeah. Oh yes, that very much happened. I remember it was exactly 220 videos in.
Wow.
And I've been making nothing. I make maybe $1 or $2 a day off of YouTube AdSense.
You were their premier member.
I had one guy that watched my videos probably.
It was me.
Thank you. Now I return the favor. And there was one day where a video popped off and it got a few 100,000 views. And it was making its way up there, and all of a sudden, in one day, I think I made $50. Oh, that blew my head up.
Okay, now I need to shut this music off.
And keep in mind, I was making nothing. My mom and dad were helping me pay rent, so that was huge for me.
Okay, good.
I think I made $200. Wait a second. What's going on? The next day, I think it was $8.
What video?
This was, I think it was a video called Asian Parents Going Through Your Room.
Okay. Very specific.
Yes, where they just roast everything about their child. So that was when I
Okay, I had to mute that because music.
It became a career that I could finally tell my mom, hey mom, I have an earnings now. I can't pay rent and I can't do stuff like that now. Which it would have never been the case in like 30 years if I had kept auditioning. That started growing, and then it grew to a bigger business, and now the opposite has happened, where I can no longer kind of afford to audition anymore, because I have a team that make the video with me, and I need to take care of my people. And if I give, say, 100 hours of my time for free to auditions like I did last year,
There we go. Back to the sitting.
So it's kind of interesting how I'm 100% flipped that this career is more fulfilling. You get to do what you want to do. You're not at the mercy of someone above you that tells you no, you're not good enough, you're not handsome enough, you're not tall enough. And you actually get to make fulfilling content and entertainment.
Just
How do you balance
collect the money.
With not having to please
Well,
someone above you, an exec, but having to please
what's
the algorithm
this
or whatever the
tree
audience
way
wants
over
to do,
here?
it's not what you might want to do.
Oh, that's such a great question. Wow, that's a really great question. And it makes me think too.
Yeah.
I think yes, every creator meets the struggle of the algorithm wants you to make this, but it's not necessarily what you want to make. It could be for many reasons. And for me, it was like I had made 64, I think right now about 64 Asian ad sketches. Okay. And I'm running out of ideas.
Sure.
But they're what gets the views. So how do we navigate that? When I make a general
Oh my
sketch
gosh.
about my upbringing growing up in China, the views are significantly lower, half sometimes less.
Okay, now I need to go back over
I have
here.
a friend, Ian, who told me this piece of advice that may be helpful to others as well.
Okay, guys, you have to wait.
That you do two things for the algorithm, and you do one thing for yourself.
This is from Entourage.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that a book?
No. Entourage is a TV show about making it in Hollywood. This is a show you gotta watch. It's literally it's about a guy who from Queens and his friends, how they all move out to LA and he becomes the famous actor. But his agent would tell him, you do two for them and then one for you. But you have to do the two.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that's the right ratio he gave, but it was Ari Gold, I think, who gave the ratio.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
He was actually based off a real figure in Hollywood. So yeah, that's interesting that Ian went to that.
Yeah, so it'll be the experiment this year. And the scene is constantly shifting as well. So like recently, I've started making shorts, and that was an interesting pivot that really freed me, because because to write a 60-second sketch is quite a different story from writing a 2-minute, 3-minute sketch. All of a sudden, the process is different. What I need in it is different. The amount of joke is vastly different. I could do a sketch without progression, without plot, without development. So that was a really nice kind of burst of creativity that I think I needed after doing a lot of the same sketches.
Did you find yourself burning out? How long did you do before you became? You said 200 videos before you went viral.
Yeah, the progression is I had made about 120 videos before I got my first video with 1 million views.
Okay.
And the others were like.
And how long? And how long of a period of time?
Oh, a year.
So a year of making 120 pieces of content.
Yes.
Then one does well, you get 1 million views. How long has it been since that moment?
Oh, then it went down.
It went down.
Yeah. So video number 120, I remember this so well. It's a video that I made satirize how my mom used to throw slippers at me.
Okay.
And then it went down back to about 5,000 views for another 100 videos.
Okay.
And these are short because I started on TikTok as a strategy. At video number 200, that was when the money came in for the first time. Then from then I grew to about 2 million subscribers on YouTube long form. I didn't make shorts then. That might have taken another 40, 50 videos, and then emotional damage happened.
Okay.
And the world just exploded.
Okay. How did you come up with emotional damage?
So it was a sketch. I wanted to write a sketch about.
And for those who don't know, by the way, emotional damage is a tagline or joke that you have that if someone, you do it, you explain what it is better than me.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to misrepresent your catchphrase. It's like you trying to figure out what the heck people.
This is the best serum I've ever used.
9 out of 10 agree. Garnier Even and Matte Vitamin C Serum is the best.
Or whatever.
There's a meaning?
There's a meaning, see?
I did not know there was
No,
a
there's
meaning.
no meaning. Just a random sound I made.
No, that's emotional damage is a meme. It started off of a sketch that I made called When Asian is a Difficulty Mode. I had made the sketch, it was not about emotional damage, but somebody took that about 3-second clip and started putting it behind videos of like a roast or a joke. And from then on, it's been put behind hundreds and hundreds of thousands of videos. It got turned into a song remix, and now it's kind of commonly sent among peers as a personal, like, as an inside joke thing.
Yeah.
They send it to each other.
And it was actually in one of my YouTube videos.
It was.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Well, no, I think you saw it because a lot of people tagged you and they're like, oh my god, look, you're in this. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool, we can connect.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
ended up meeting at the YouTube event.
At the YouTube event, yes.
So over this period of time, like 100, 200 videos, a lot of time goes by. How does your mental health and physical health change during that time?
Oh, that's a really interesting change. It's actually more exciting and passionate than now.
Wait, your health was, you're taking care of your health, you were more passionate about it then?
Also, what I mean was like, in the beginning portion, before I had made money, that was fun. It didn't feel like hard work. It didn't feel like I had to force myself to do anything.
No stress,
Yeah, it was genuine fun.
creativity.
Yes, full freedom of creativity. And then more pieces started to come in. You know, a team started to come in, and other concerns, and of course the monetization side, the sponsorship side, and the side of the algorithm that have to do certain things to please the algorithm and the audience. That came in, and it started making the process a lot more complicated. Like, I miss the days where I would go, that's a great idea, I'd write it,
Dang
I'd
it.
shoot it, and make a great sketch. Today, it's more like, at any time, I'd have 5 sketches in production at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, one's in a revision, one's in the edit, one's to shot today. So the process got more complicated for sure. And I find myself spending too much time in the non-creative stuff, like the paperwork, the business, the running the companies, learning about taxes.
Okay.
The boring stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this is a lot of AFKing, so
Next step, I guess,
I'm just gonna let it go
to
for a while, or just.
So when you're
What
not
the?
in a creative mind, is your
I wasn't near it.
yes.
It's like over here.
This is a large thing that I have to do
They're collected by proxy?
October of 2022. I was
That's
producing
cool.
a series called Janova. It's going to be out March 25th. So what happened in that period was um, I was running too many things. I was running kind of three large projects. Project number one, I was an editing channel. I thought I could do it myself because I know.
Oh, bless me.
So I was editing at that week.
Thank you to the people who said bless you on the other side of the screen.
Doing a lot of work with the producing side.
I know I can't hear you, but
Press, preparing content to launch,
thank you.
preparing
Anyway.
schedule, looking at venues to host.
Hey, wall missing.
And on top of those two, I had my 6 channels that I had.
And there's no roof.
And I remember there was one point where things got bad because of my kind of lack
Beep.
of ability. I couldn't run those 3 things at the same time.
Well, because you're human.
Yeah, I guess.
This isn't your lack of ability.
Yeah.
This is your truth of being a human.
Yes, I could shadow clone myself.
Yeah.
I need to learn that. So all 3 projects started failing. The edit was way behind, which caused a cascade effect. I had to call Good Morning America and say, I'm so sorry, can we push the launch date? Can we hold the story? The press side stuff wasn't getting done, and my channel was 3 weeks behind. All 3 verticals had failed. And for the first time, and I'm 26, for the first time in my life, my body started not being reliable. Like I had very often moments where my heart would beat very uncomfortably, to the point where I had to stop. I had to like stop editing, take the time to breathe in. It could be. And also for the first time ever, I started to lose balance. That really worried me. I'd be walking, going to the shop, and all of a sudden I'd miss a step. I was like, okay, I'm scared. Something is not right.
And it's because you weren't there in the moment. You're elsewhere, or you were physically.
I got you.
Like head spinning, room spinning.
Nice.
Not necessarily rooms.
Like disequilibrium.
Yes, for glimpses, for like one step if I'm walking somewhere. And just in general, a little bit of a nauseous feeling. I remember very clearly one day I had to, my laptop wasn't capable enough of editing. I needed to get a more powerful laptop. I walked to Apple, and that was in the thick of it. That was when everything was going down. I remember I would lose
Where
balance
is
every
the
now and then. I'd
wall
catch myself
button
in
for
the
this
set, and
part?
I was in World Trade Center, New York. People started coming up to me, and I got a group of about 7 people talking to me and taking pictures, and I felt like I could fall at any second. So I must have behaved very strangely in front of them.
Okay.
But yeah, I told my mom about it, and I was like, this should not be happening.
I hope your
Something
mom
is
encouraged
wrong.
you to get checked out.
Yes. She encouraged me to take a step back.
Robux.
So I took the loss. You know, I delayed the show for 3 months. Cost another like $30,000 to hire an editor to do what I couldn't do, which is funny because they do a better job anyway. And I learned that from then on. I'm like, okay, I've got to make an effort to not abuse my body too much.
Did
There
the
we
symptoms
go.
fully resolve when you made those changes?
Now what's this
It got a lot
one?
better.
Posters.
Definitely got a lot better.
Got cheap.
The losing balance thing went away. Now I don't lose the balance. The heart beating uncomfortably thing, it was still there for maybe a week, and then it slowly got back to normal. Yeah.
Isn't it incredible how the human body creates symptoms?
Whoa.
What is going on situationally?
Okay, let's go original.
And me as a doctor would never be able to know unless I run tests or we change your situation.
Well, nope. Neon light view, let's show
What are the symptoms of a stroke? I could take
Okay.
someone walking and then all of a sudden losing their
No,
balance
there.
and then not knowing exactly where they are. Or
Click
feeling
this.
that could easily be a stroke, but it could also be a migraine, but it could also be a panic attack.
What's
It could
this?
also be a sleep
Ah,
deprivation.
car.
So like that's what's difficult about
Oh, wait.
medicine. If you
Just get that.
practice in the way that it is practiced in this day and age. Meaning right now, most times you walk into a doctor's office, it feels like you're an assembly line. It's like an expressway where patients just move in and out, get them in and get them out. So you come in, the way the doctors practice these days, oh, you have this symptom? Okay, so that's treatment B, packaging. See, okay, here you go, Bob. Versus, I gotta sit with you. I gotta talk to you. What's going on in October 2022 that you're feeling this way? Is there anything else going on? Are you sleeping well? And only upon painting this full picture, however long it took us to get to this full conversation, can I possibly even give you some reasonable thoughts of mine as to what to do next. But no one gets that these days.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense for a doctor to do
So,
15 minutes.
Yeah.
when did you start feeling this way?
Even from a patient perspective, I
And
don't know.
what caused
Did
it?
you end up seeking help for this? Like, did you
Uh-huh.
go get checked out by a
It's
doctor?
not
or
good.
December, I did get checked out.
Okay, so you did. Did you feel rushed by the doctor, or you were comfortable? You have a good
That
relationship
was
with
in
him?
Ireland, by the way.
Oh, really? Why Ireland?
I'm from Ireland.
Okay.
I should have started with that part.
Okay.
I'm Irish.
Imagine.
I was 8 years old. I was born and raised in China, and then immigrated.
Imagine
to
if...
Wow. Okay.
This is my Irish accent
Oh.
started coming out. And then grew up between Ireland and China. 17 years old, I went to London for the bachelor's degree, and then I came to New York.
Okay.
So I went back home for Christmas, saw a doctor. I felt very well taken care of. I don't even think there was anyone after me, so I had
Wow.
any time,
Okay.
as much time as I wanted.
So apparently we need to shift our model more towards what's going on in Ireland,
Yes.
which I know nothing of. So. But you're saying it's good. It's a positive experience.
Yeah, I did not feel rushed. Yeah.
Okay. And everything came back. You're good. You're healthy. We can
Excuse me?
some more videos from you.
You can definitely
Excuse me?
I don't think I've got the test result back yet. But
What, from December?
January.
Okay.
It was in
It
January.
was in January.
So we'll see. Yeah, I should have it.
Okay.
I should check my
Well, I hope you should check it. You know, if there's any questions, feel free to send them my way.
Thank you
I
so
can
much.
answer general questions. But yeah, that's pretty incredible that you started feeling those effects on your health quickly. I also know that in your past medical history, you've had a surgery on your eyebrow.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Oh, this will be the first time it's in public because they're kind of been hiding this.
Ooh, okay.
There's no need to hide. It's perfectly human.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we need to break the stigma, and I appreciate you doing so.
Awesome. So this was from 2021 Q4. It was quite a stressful period because of deadlines. Previously, I'd been making content to however I want, but suddenly in December, I think I had like 13 continuous deadlines that I had to hit. And of course, things go wrong all the time. Like
Here's my car.
a video needs to be reshot, revised. So
Oh, it's out there.
in about halfway through that the period of work, I
There's
had
my
a bump
car.
started developing here, right here. You might
On
see this
your
on my right
right
eyebrow.
eyebrow. Okay.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't take it that seriously. But then the bump got infected. I don't know if that remains.
Infected hair follicle.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. It got infected, and in like 3 days, it puffed up to about the size of an olive.
Wow, that's
It was
big.
very bothersome.
Okay.
Very bothersome.
And hard to make content with that.
Yes. And
What
I did
the?
the most Chinese thing ever. I slapped a band-aid on it and just filmed anyway.
Really? Yeah. Everyone noticed. No one asked questions.
And
A lot
that's
of
it.
people did. A lot of people were like, why is he wearing a band-aid? So this is the answer.
Oh
Because
wow. Okay.
I had an infected hair follicle, I guess.
Okay.
I went to the doctors. I think I did. I went to the doctors. They gave me antibiotics, and it came back to an unnoticeable little bump again. But it's noticeable if I touch it. You can't see it or anything.
Yeah.
Then twice after that, in periods of stress, it has gotten infected.
I'm going to...
Questions you already got it?
I'm on creating 7 first,
Oh, no. I became like
but...
traumatized.
Hey,
Still
I am.
don't really touch that area on my face
Okay.
because I'm so scared of it, doing the thing. And this is a funny story. We shot Ginormal in September in LA, and it was this huge thing that cost a lot of money, and we had over 100 people work on it, so it was very important. And I was like, what are the chances it pops up during production?
Did it pop up?
Wouldn't it be so funny if it popped up in this time? So this is a true story. It was an 8-day shoot across 3 weeks. We survived through the 8 days, and the day after wrap, it
popped
inflated.
up.
It became a huge.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got so
So
lucky.
you had like a stress cyst.
It was, yes. Oh, yeah. At the time, I thought it was luck. I was like, luck would have a hilarious sense of humor if it decides to do me now. But then I had the surgery to remove the whole thing, and the surgeon, did tell me that it had a opening where bacteria can make its way inside the thing, and when I'm stressed, my immune system comes down, bacteria makes it in, and it gets infected. So I learned that actually there's actually a pattern to this. When I'm highly stressed, it doesn't.
Interesting. It's almost like not 100% because it's a different cause, but like a cold sore oftentimes comes up when you're sick or stressed, and this thing just happened to be not a cold sore, but a bacterial source instead of a viral source.
Right.
So that's so interesting.
Yes, anything.
Wow.
So happy to have
But now
it.
you've had it surgically removed.
Yes, it is removed.
R.I.P. Stress cyst.
It's gone forever. Yes. What the hell? That's
Wow.
awesome.
Okay.
So that is a thing that's been happening quite lately, and it's caught me off
There
guard
we
so
go.
fast.
What's the theme?
The theme
Just
of
looking good.
my body kind of
I'm gonna
disappears.
teleport back to the front.
You're 26. Nothing's going wrong.
Exactly. So I'll describe the things that I noticed. For my
That's
whole
a
life,
lot.
I never had to think before I did movements. If I needed to roll down the floor for a video, I'd roll. But the last year has changed that. Now, before I do a lot of movements, I have to go. Okay, so my neck. Okay, it's grand. Is my whatever. Okay, it's grand. Okay, let's do it. Before every video now, I stretch, which is the saddest thing that my editor has to watch.
What do you mean sad is this is the most productive, proactive thing you could do. Like I'm celebrating this as a physician.
Thank you. It's like I wish
Yeah.
I could be as carefree as I was last year and do everything. But now that's happened. And the other thing is, I believe I have a pinched nerve on the back of my neck. It's been there for like 2 years now. And it's gotten better and worse, probably affected by stress as well. What would happen is, when my neck would be like in a certain movement, I feel a shoot, like a sensation.
Paresthesia, we call it.
Okay.
Paresthesia.
It didn't last. It just had flashes. And then
Ooh.
during the stressful period, and this is
10K.
general shoot. I did a very
Seating
simple
row.
move that I always do. I'm at my bed and I lean on
Sitting
it.
row
Every
1.
single movement. Dude, something happened
A,
and I felt
B,
huge.
C, D, E.
Shot.
It was like someone punched the nerve. The feeling of the tingling.
Wow.
Paresthesia.
Okay. The paresthesia changed. It became something.
That's an interesting name. Paresthesia.
And
Paresthesia.
I didn't move. I didn't know if I could move it for a minute.
This is Dr. Mike in the background. So
And then 2 weeks after that, I couldn't move my neck.
it's better than the music because
Well, paresthesia is what you're feeling, that weird sensation.
his music can't be
The shooting
copyrighted.
itself is actually, again, I don't want to make a diagnosis because I don't know the full
It's the
picture,
music that
but it
gets
sounds a lot
copyrighted,
like something known as cervical
not the
regurgitation,
video itself.
where you have the vertebrae
Which
in
is
your neck, which are called the cervical
interesting.
vertebrae. There's different sections of the vertebrae going up and down your back. Cervical, thoracic,
Oh,
lumbar,
I need
sacral.
the
last one's the
theater name.
coccyx, the little tailbone.
I don't know why I call it
On top of the cervical
server.
ones, you have nerves that come out after each vertebrae. And those
This
nerves
is
go
comedy.
give sensation to and movement to the rest of your body. Now, the ones in the cervical area obviously are the ones that go down your arms and give sensation
8:15.
and muscular movement to
Nice.
the arms. That's in fact how you're able to move your body, feel things, temperature regulation, all of that.
Ah,
Now, if the vertebrae for some reason go
when
into
you
a spasm,
clicking, also
whether it's because you
interesting
suffer,
fact, when you
went to
click
your physician, you
your
were
knuckles,
thinking
or
you were
like crack your
you were
knuckles,
stressed, you were carrying your weight,
you are
your
actually
shoulders
popping
shrugged up.
nitrogen,
You
so
can
it's harmless.
such a physician that those vertebrae, those bone, put pressure on the nerve.
It's a myth that you'll get arthritis from it. I believe arthritis, I think it's genetic, but I don't know.
My suspicion.
It's a terrifying thing.
It sounds scary,
Ask your doctor.
but it's treatable at the source. So,
Which is at the
vertebrae, likely, again, it's hard to know without doing tests and all.
So yeah,
If it is that, it is at the vertebrae. And that can happen as a result of something functional. You held your neck in a weird position, you had something around your neck that you were wearing that made it uncomfortable. Or it could be anatomical, which could be a disc bulge, a growth, a
Timorous.
bone spur, all these other things. And those are the least likely options in many people. especially
That's
in
lost right
someone
there.
who's otherwise healthy. But you you don't rule anything out until you sort of get a good picture in examining a patient.
I see.
That was a very long-winded explanation about everything.
No,
That radiates out.
very scary.
It shouldn't be scary because it's treatable. There's a lot of conditions that cause what you're describing as like a neuropathy, which is like pathy in medicine is like a pathological condition, something wrong.
How much is
So
this?
a neuropathy that goes down the arms can be a common symptom for a lot of patients that have Lyme disease, diabetes, and they can't get rid of it.
250.
Because it's coming as a result of an issue.
Interesting.
Okay.
And that's a very different image than what likely you were experiencing.
Right.
And that becomes trickier.
I see. I do feel.
There we go.
Have a great
Just
impact.
put my card there.
Which means that
And I went over it again.
there's a term in medicine called reproducible pain.
Okay.
And generally speaking, when we say pain is reproducible, that's a good thing. Generally speaking. Because if you're telling me you have chest pain and then I press on your rib and I can reproduce the pain, that means it's likely not cardiac, it's not your heart. Because it's likely the muscle, the tissue, the bone, things that are not super serious.
Okay.
If you're having pain on the other side and it's reproducible, when you take a breath, but it's because it's reproducible, I know it's more likely to be the rib rather than the lung tissue.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the fact that yours is reproducible,
Yeah,
if I do
that's
this
what it
neck
is.
movement, something happens, it's more likely coming from that as a source rather than something happening at the nerve itself.
Okay. That's good. I'm happy to hear that.
So I hope I can give you some reassurance from that.
Thank you. There's another way it
God
kind of
damn it.
affects you.
Thanks, server.
Very often get
Thanks, server lags.
Usually it's a reaching.
You know, if they get bad enough, they can actually crash your game.
Kind of started learning tennis.
That's why I like to have my own servers. My own server where there's no crashing. Because it's just me.
I feel the attack,
The stinger.
Yeah, the stinger. Yeah.
Oh.
The stinger usually
Whoa.
sends this part up.
I'm in the air.
Trying to protect itself.
It could be. Again, hard to know because also the brachial plexus is in this region, which is the grouping of nerves that start splitting up and giving sensation to the rest of your arm. But it's something happening.
There's
there.
the screen.
How did you get into racket sports?
It's very popular in China.
Okay.
Growing up there, when I was.
But you didn't grow up in China.
I did. I was born and raised in China.
But then how old were you when you came? Oh, 8.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't grow up in
Yeah.
China.
Oh, and then I had a separate 3 years.
I'm watching Dr. Mike and this.
Like I
Hello.
until I was 6. I didn't grow up in Russia.
That's fair. I guess I grew up like pretty. I've lived in China more than I've lived in any other country.
You're an international soul.
Yes, I have been. I have.
Projector. Need.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was living in China. Badminton was the most popular thing.
Oh my.
I played badminton. I came kind of to the west. In Ireland, there was very little. In America, I found it as an interesting thing. It's like the networking center of Chinese people.
No way. Are
So-
you in a league?
No, in a club. It's
Oh,
very
club.
casual. There's no tournaments or competitiveness.
Okay.
It's more like a certain group of people just show up and have fun.
Okay.
No one keeps scores.
Okay.
But before, I found it very late on because the pandemic had stopped everything. So I found it 4 years into living in New York. I don't think I had any Chinese friends. But then I discovered a badminton club, and all of a sudden, I know everyone there.
People, I found you. Okay.
Yeah. It's the only place I speak Mandarin now, so I love it. I go and I chat with everybody.
And were they aware of your skits and your work?
Oh yeah, they were. Yes, they were. There were a lot of moms bringing their children there to meet me.
Oh, that's
That was
awesome.
absolutely adorable.
And then how did you make the transition to tennis?
Tennis was very recent. It was because I had been in LA, and tennis being a very common sport there, and also in my field of film and television, just a lot of producers that I became friends with played tennis. So I went along. It was very difficult at first. I could not hit the ball,
Yes, right.
being a badminton player. But I enjoy it now. I think I do get a bit more of a soreness in my shoulder. That's probably a pretty common thing.
Yeah, very common. I mean, also, I feel
I think this one's not
I mean, much
finished.
like other sports like golf, it's very technique focused.
Yes.
where people think that they have to be super strong to, but it's more about the technique and how you use your whole body
Right.
as a unit as opposed to
Strength.
just strength and like overpowering this thing. Because that goes quite wrong in tennis very quickly.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, a lot of the nerve things did happen.
Yep.
in tennis.
Interesting. When you're picking up a new sport, though, weird things are gonna happen to your body. You're gonna be sore in places that you were never sore before. That's like kind of a typical response because your body's adjusting. It's almost like when you're a newborn, not a newborn, but when you're young and you're learning to walk,
Yeah.
and your body's with each step and each failure,
Oh,
it's
fuck
sending
off.
you signals to learn and which muscles to grow, which muscles don't need to grow, and all of that process happens when you're on the tennis court. So like, what's cool is nerves actually expand and you get better control and activation of certain nerves the more you use them.
So this is why practicing is a thing.
Exactly, yeah. It's like neuroplasticity of the mind that is able to reshape itself. Like they always say, you can't regrow brain cells, but you can reshape the way that your brain is designed. Like different parts of your brain, depending on which ones you use and don't use. That's why the ones that are have lowest rates of Alzheimer's, dementia, are the ones that keep social connections alive, that are physically active, because we see that using the brain helps rebuild and keep those structures youthful. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that is so interesting. Okay, there's a few parts of that I find very interesting. The social thing. The pandemic kind of did this to all of us.
Yeah.
Our social life was cut.
Yes.
And it was restricted. And that's where I kind of started my content creation. In the last year, I made friends for the first time. I made friends with fellow creators for the first time who, like, no one else got what I was saying. I would tell, like, my mom about retention rate, and it was like, she had no clue.
Yeah.
But then I found a group of people who got everything. And that did wonders for
Mm-hmm.
my happiness, for my mental health. I felt great.
Well, you found a community, social support.
Yes, I very much appreciate community.
Yeah, that's normal. That's like that. We all seek that sort of not just approval, but mutual understanding. It's very difficult when you go and you share.
Okay, this is
with
weird.
someone, and you know
Um,
that they might be nice and say they understand. If you feel that they're not being genuine in their understanding, it doesn't feel real. Your brain knows.
Yes, I bet it does now.
Yeah.
So, what's the connection between the neural building of those pathways and mental health? Is it the same thing?
Well, it's part of it. For example, in mental health, one of the biggest factors that decides whether
I
or not
hate
you
when
have
it
a
does
good
that.
outcome, meaning a good outcome that you will not hurt yourself, that it will be a short-lived experience with this mental health situation, is your social support structure.
Wow.
So part of what I do as a doctor when someone comes in with a concern of a diagnosis of general anxiety disorder or major depressive disorder is right away hammering out who's their support structure, who do they lean on, and that not just goes for their benefit and the decrease of disease burden, but also their crisis planning. For example, if I'm worried about them potentially going to a dark place, I would ask them, if you do go into this dark place, can we create a plan? Who can you call? So that you don't even need to think. In that moment, you say, oh, I'm feeling this way, this is what I'm supposed to do, and we have a plan in place. And that all stems from having a good social structure around you. And the unfortunate reality is so many of us
Sometimes I go
have
into
a broken
dark
social
space, but
structure
then
or have been hurt by others, where we don't trust many other people or don't have great friendship.
sometimes I go into dark space, but then I remember I've got a family who loves me and some friends who care about me. There's always someone that can help you. Even if you don't believe it, there are people that care about you. There are always people that will care about you. Your boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, grandparents, your best friends, your besties. even a random stranger who's never met you, sometimes they'll just sit down and listen to whatever problems you have. I mean, it's all that anyone really wants is someone to listen to them. Just someone to really understand what they're going through. To just listen to them. And that's what anyone who's suffering really wants, is someone to listen to them. To really listen. You know? And we're getting off topic. Let's get back to the video. The video.
Loneliness is the true
What the?
pandemic that's going on right now. Not that others aren't as well, but that's the one that is very universal, especially in the digital age, because we feel like we're more connected, but we're somehow connectedly disconnected.
Yes, yes. I
And
know
we
what
talked about that earlier when we were saying how
Connectedly
everyone is fighting each other
disconnected?
on social media, and there's groups going.
Yeah, I guess, but
Actually, I'm curious to ask you this when it comes to mental health.
Yeah.
Do you ever have people write negative things to you? Or, example, you know, you do a stereotypical Asian parent. Does anyone get upset at you for doing that, or do you own it?
Oh, that's pretty funny. No, I own it because there is nothing wrong with
that's how
honesty.
big it is.
It's your own experience.
What I find quite funny, and this is a new thing coming to America and seeing, you know, it would be strange. I would consider it strange coming from where I came from.
Well,
Is that the
damn.
people that would type
This is
comments saying
huge.
none of them are Asian people.
Okay.
Well, I'm a little bit confused here. What's exactly going on?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm new to the country, so I'm still learning about everything.
Why do you think that is? Why do you
Damn.
think it's not Asian people? Like, do you think it's like a savior complex that's going on? Or am I going too deep with it?
I completely understand where you're coming from. I completely do, and I can kind of see a perspective where
Well,
there are people who mean harm, bullies, racist people.
this is something
People
else.
who mean harm.
Are you
and
kidding me?
Kind of use stereotypes as a way to harm others. And because of that pain that many have
God.
experienced, maybe that is what the bad taste is in some people's eyes.
Sure.
Whereas in truth, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the way we are, with the way we speak. And I don't want to give power to those
That's under the same.
This is my answer for that.
My
That's
God,
very
this is
good.
huge.
I, like you, like to take a charitable thinking approach to it, and think that from a lack of knowing the culture, because you may not be a part of it, as you said, that the loudest voices that you get in the comment sections are usually not ones from your culture. They believe that this could be detrimental. They get worried, and with good intentions, are now creating a problem.
It's a
That
perspective.
is not valuable, basically.
Right. It doesn't help anyone.
Ah.
I don't think it should be.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think ultimately it stunts our ability to have conversation.
Are you
discourse,
kidding me? Even more?
comedy, to laugh at ourselves. In fact, what do you take? Like, you're basically a comedian these days on social media.
Yeah.
What and film? What's your take on the state of comedy in general?
Ugh,
Oh, well, it's very
I
different.
do not like this lag.
The United States is in a very unique spot that I do not see with many other nations, where a culture.
Even more space?
Words.
Kidding.
People are losing the ability to laugh.
And I am out.
I think. And it's
As much
not
fun as this game
anybody's
is,
fault, because I know
I'd rather-
it's from a place of possible hurt. So you know, nobody's to blame, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you're just trying to.
I'd rather you know
I
have my own server, but I need Robux.
But I do have kind of an extra caution that I have to put onto all the comedy that I write, and to consider a lot about, okay, from what angle can someone get offended by this?
So you actively think about that when you make content?
Yes, all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
If,
all the time.
if you didn't have to think about that, would your comedy be different?
If you want to send me some fan emails,
Like, here's an example.
Then
If I made comedy sketches in China,
you send it to.
It would be a whole different story, really.
yeah.
Okay, why? You would be more free to make more jokes?
Actually,
Yes, I think I'd be more free.
no,
I
not
think
yet.
there would be more
think
things
you
I
should-
could satirize.
Wow, okay.
Create
So-
a different email for that one.
One thing that I try to do is
Yeah.
individualize all the satire.
I'll be right back, guys.
So instead of
Mom? Oh. I'm just thinking about it. Why would I send? It's for receiving. One second. Bother. Already. Hmm? What's up? Today. Okay, I am back. It's a free one. Yes. Yep. No one's allowed. Okay. Just add the group. Oh, just. Okay. Still wait for everything to load in properly. Okay.
Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera,
What?
action.
Why did it say Roblox?
Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. Camera, action.
Good job, buddy.
Camera, action.
You're doing pretty well.
Lights, camera,
Oops.
action. Camera. Camera. Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action.
Yeah.
Lights, camera, action.
It's awesome. Vader. Luke, I am your father. God, that's such a good line. I have to admit, that's such a good line. Chewie. Forgot about those lights there.
Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action.
Yep. This is all mine. Hey, we are filming the battle between Luke and Vader in that scene. Set 2. This is finish set 1. $3K. Ouch.
Action. Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action.
Oh. Nice.
Lights, camera, action. Lights,
Beep. Between. Why'd I say like that? Yeah, Roblox. Don't know why I keep saying that.
Making fun of Asian fathers, I make fun of my father. Instead of making fun of failed actors, I make fun of me, the failed actor. So the butt of every joke has to be me. Whereas if I was doing
Light
Chinese,
crew call.
you know,
Okay.
make fun of everyone else. So I think that's the main difference. That the butt of the joke has to be me and me alone, not other Chinese people, not other young people, not other actors, not other.
Do you view that as a positive thing or just whatever?
I would like to see people regain the ability to laugh at themselves. I think there's great power, because that takes the power from the bullies. Right?
I agree. I think that's an understated point where by being able to laugh at yourself and laugh at your problems, comedy can be a healing tool. And you wouldn't think that. You would think someone's making a joke about you. And certainly comedy can become toxic, where someone is bullying you with their
Lights.
comedy,
Yeah.
Camera.
and you
Action.
become just full on stepped on. But then there is also a
Lights,
layer of
camera,
you're going to a
action.
comedy show and the person is doing crowd work and they pick you out
Lights.
and they
Camera.
make jokes about
Action.
you. And while it may sting a little bit, you're kind of laughing to yourself because you're
Lights.
enjoying it. You're like, oh,
Camera.
this is actually really
Action.
funny
That's a good joke.
and I'm enjoying this. So there
Lights.
is
Camera.
healing in that.
Action.
And because it requires nuance to figure out,
Action.
and our social media digital world is devoid of nuance, it feels like we have grown an allergy to nuance that because of it, we can't have the comedy that maybe you would have if you were in China.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we lose a lot of comedy. A lot of comedy that might be just even America 30 years ago, right? There were a lot of fantastic, funny things that today would be considered offensive. I'm still very much undereducated in the culture
Lights.
here.
Camera.
But it entertained people back then, and there wasn't this perspective of everything has to be negative. You know, everything has to be. I'm offended about this thing.
Yeah, I remember watching. Did you ever watch a comedian, Don Rickles?
Action.
I'm not sure.
He would roast people all the time, but he would roast everybody in the room. Like it didn't matter what race you were, what religion you were, what you look like, tall, short. Like he would just roast everybody, including himself. And he did it with like a layer of love. I remember even seeing skits of him saying like, I hate everybody, but I love everybody,
Yeah.
and because of that, I'm gonna roast everybody. And you could see that transcend the hatred. And I worry that we might be losing comedians like that because of their ability to say nonsense or not being canceled.
To me, I think it is very strong and distinctive kind of line, and this transcends culture. It's the same in China, it's the same in the UK, it's the same here, and that's intention. You know, it's intention. In my eyes, I would enjoy that. Whereas the bad thing is when someone has the intention. So that I think that's universal.
And it feels like most people would be sharp enough in a room to be able to distinguish the difference between those two.
Yes.
Like if you have
Action.
one person get on stage and just be mean,
Oh, everyone would.
you would know.
Camera.
Yeah.
You
Action.
would know in your heart. You'd be like, no, this sounds wrong. This is not coming off well. And then if someone's doing it and everyone's involved and it feels like a engaging, bringing people in as opposed to pushing people out, I feel like that would be felt as well. But because we're not feeling both, we've lost our contrast, this measuring stick of what is right.
Social media.
Well, it's so funny that you say social media because you told me you went into this because you get to be your own boss, you get to create whatever content you want. And then on the same flip side, you told me you can't create the content you want because the audience and the algorithm demand something from you. Your comedy abilities are shifted because you're not allowed to say certain things. They're contrasting thoughts.
Oh, that's a very fair point, and all of them, I guess, are valid. Like my comedy isn't restricted much. It's more restricted by algorithm and having to do certain sketches, even though I've run out of ideas, so I'm burnt out with that sketch. But the conflict of I was trying to please casting directors, and now I'm trying to please the algorithm. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yes, I am. And you know, the stakes are if I don't please the algorithm, I'll get no views, and my income will drop, which has many times. But that I very strongly would rather be in this side, the auditions, because it's up to me. You know, every rejection has nothing to do with it. It's because their lead came back. It's because another actor is taller.
So you feel like it's like the audience and the algorithm is more fair,
Yes, it gives everybody a shot. Yeah.
more democratized.
Definitely more democratized. You know, when you look at things like the amount of Asian roles available in Hollywood versus this is kind of a new thing, but how Asians have let's say opportunities that Asian people, actors, have in Hollywood versus opportunities that Asian people have here. It is a lot more fair, I think, for new media, where I can reach hundreds of millions of people by making good content. But as an actor, you don't ever have that power.
Yeah, I spoke to Cal Penn about this.
Okay.
From if you ever seen the movie How the Kumar Go to White Castle or Van Wilder, and you're missing some American
I'm sorry,
cult
I'm new.
classics.
Yeah,
No, it's
I'm
okay.
very new.
But he's an actor that spoke about this and how it was hard for him to get roles and he would get typecasted. He experienced racism in the casting room.
Oh man, yeah.
That they would constantly ask him to do an Indian accent even if the role wasn't for an Indian role. And it upset him. But then it also, as a catch-22, encouraged him to take certain roles that he wouldn't even want to take, that were typecasted and maybe not good roles in terms of positioning an Indian person in a positive light, because it would ultimately get him to the place where he could get the roles that he wanted. What's your take on that catch-22? Because you sort of did that when you were traveling to Kentucky and paying your own way, with the goal of, I'll take this role that's not going to make me lose money because I might be the next one.
Yes, I didn't land that. By the way. I didn't land. Look at you.
No, okay.
Yeah, the catch-22 that you have to give value.
Camera.
Well, there's two ways of looking at it. The being exploited and the race thing. I personally don't think I've had much of that. I might go up for roles that need me to speak Mandarin and need me to play the piano or do kung fu stuff. I don't see that as anything negative. Yeah, I don't think there's any negativity that comes with that. So that's totally fair. But on the work exploiting side, what I mean by the work exploiting side is, say I'm a production, I need a carefully managed, and I hours that I just ask for that I'm not paying
Action.
out of it. Sure. I don't like that. It's a funny thing because the same kind of leaks to social media. A lot of people are making videos and don't make money. So the exploitation of work, yeah, I don't like it when it comes to audition because I'm professional. Doing my professional work that I've worked for a few thousand hours a year for $0. But on the content creation side, it feels more like I'm investing in a business that I'm building, and that's fair. It's not up to someone with power who likes a person.
This is only
Actually up to, do I
10%.
make good work?
It's interesting because, again, I'm going to keep pointing out these paradoxes.
Yeah.
Because they're interesting to me. You say that there's a lot of hours that are spent going through these auditions,
Yes.
and that the work exploitation on that level is bad. And then you also told me that when you were doing that, it was pleasant, but then now when you're in your own business and you have all these worries, you feel less healthy and more mentally stressed out than you did when you were casting.
Oh yeah, that I take that for granted. I think it's a part of business that comes to every business.
Okay.
So I take that for granted. But I think you raised a very interesting point with when I was auditioning, how I was so hungry that I would be exploited, that I would lose money for an opportunity. And I think the reason this whole industry of millions of people doing this is because
Mama.
the demand and supply
It's a big lake.
is just
Hey, that rhymed.
yes. Like if there were
I should have known actually.
every actor would get jobs.
Yeah.
But because there
Should
are
have known.
millions of actors fighting for 100 jobs, 1,000 jobs. That's what caused this norm. Like, oh yeah, you were supposed to work for 10 years and never make minimum wage. I think it's because of that extremely high demand.
And the unfairness comes from the also work exploitation, where now if you upload content, you're not even a part of the YouTube partner program, you'll still get ads put on your videos, which is savage.
But it is kind of like
So they're monetizing your content and you're not even getting a piece of it anymore.
That is a strange situation.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about that to.
You're like, I'm not gonna attack YouTube. They make me too much money.
YouTube gave me an opportunity.
No.
when
I'm not
we did.
speaking badly about it. I'm just
No.
saying that this work thing is very tricky to figure out because it's the same with medical school, where a lot of people are pointing out on my social media that medical school is too competitive. They're saying it's too expensive, and that's the part I very much agree with. Like, it doesn't need to be that expensive. We need to figure that out. But then they say it's too competitive. And then I start wondering, what is it mean that it's too competitive? If there's only a certain number of medical schools with only a certain number of slots, because we only need a certain number of doctors, then it's appropriate.
We got a fan.
If we need to make more, then maybe the competition will become a little bit more fair, but we shouldn't arbitrarily lower the standards to becoming a physician. Do you agree? Like, just say, oh, you know what? Let's make it easier to get into medical school. Let's lower the requirements.
That is such a strange thing.
It's a dilemma.
I'm not sure I fully understand. So people are
Lights.
demanding
Camera.
that because it is
Action.
too hard to get in, that they make it easier to get in.
Yes.
Lights. Camera.
Yeah.
Action.
And I don't know if I vibe with it because
Lights.
it gives it should be
Action.
appropriately hard to get in because it's a competitive field.
Camera.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So it's not about
Jack
it's
Sparrow.
not about the individual or the competition of pairing competing
Both.
with the individual. I see. Well, I'm Chinese.
I'm used to competing.
Camera 7.
I'm used to
Oh,
Okay, so to answer that first, I think it should first of all the most important thing is that we have professionals capable of delivering the help that people
Sure.
need.
Camera.
You cannot sacrifice
Action.
that for the sake of easier entry to the profession. The other parts, I'm not educated enough to get a fair impression of it. Yeah, in China, China is a very, very competitive place where there's just a lot of people fighting for spaces.
I just
We've
learned
only
about this
5
the first year in
movies here.
Is that
I would believe the depths of Earths, I think.
wow? Oh yeah, like my generation don't have siblings. So
Whoops.
it's a culture-wide, nationwide kind of impact that
Very much so.
Yeah.
Social.
yeah, a huge. So and that probably leads into my experience being in China when I was 12 to 14, 15 years old, 14 and a half. While I was there, this is a really interesting perspective for Westerners. While I was there, we were doing something called 初中, which is middle school the first half. So typically children are 13, 14, 15 years old for this period of school. In China, as a developing country, and education kind of lasts until about when you're 14, when it stops. And if you want to continue in private schools, because of that, there was this massive competitive energy to get into the private schools. I'm from Shenzhen, which is one of the biggest cities with 12 million people. And while I was there, what I saw was an absolutely unreasonable amount of pressure on all the 14-year-olds to come. The numbers that I had heard at the time that continue on is less than half. Wow. So that alone is,
Camera.
it decides your
Action.
life, it decides what kind of career you can have. It's very, very
Lights.
difficult in China
Camera.
to get education
Action.
to start a career like I did in America.
Lights.
So
Camera.
kind of like
Action.
this permanent unbreakable barrier
Camera.
that you're stuck to terrible jobs for later probably work.
Lights. Camera.
And
Action.
there's one aspect that makes this way worse, and that aspect is that
Camera.
none of my
Action.
generation have siblings except very rare twins. So
Camera. Action.
for the boys, you are the only chance for your family to carry down their lineage. And on your shoulders rest your entire lineage to do well, to become a respected person, to become a person of high social class. So that's where the culture that I grew up in, the culture that I sacrifice all the time, of like parents saying you have to get A's all the time, you have to play the piano. It's because of that. It's because all the parents are like, this is our only thing that will pass on.
And it must be so stressful because now the health and well-being of your parents once they get older is on one person's shoulders as opposed to distributed amongst multiple siblings.
Personal friends, they're complaining about this. It's hard enough for them for a 25-year job or career. But each of them are experiencing, say, look at these parents, they're in their 20s. They now have four parents of theirs and eight grandparents who very soon need them to provide for. And that pressure is unfair. This is what friends who are in China. Yeah, so it's hard to
Was
explain.
that what you said? I mean,
Yeah, my mom was wonderful. I was not consulted in this decision. I was told, you come here. Okay, thanks, mom.
sure. What was the reason?
She wanted to leave China. I think she wanted to see more of the world. She wanted to experience other stuff. And at the time, when I was 4, my mother and father separated. And so I think, she just wanted a fresh scene to start anew. And the reason we went to Ireland was that was the only other country we had family. So we had a distant uncle in Ireland. That's why she went. She set up. Eventually, she married an Irish family because my dad.
Lights, camera, action.
Wow. What an interesting story.
Lights,
Not a lot of
camera,
not a lot.
action.
Why did you go back for the 3 years?
Lights, camera, action.
100% true story. Okay?
Lights,
100%.
camera, action.
In our culture, there is this kind of thing of authority.
Lights, camera, action.
When I'm told, period. I won't say anything.
Lights, camera,
With that.
action.
That's really a family where I'm from.
Yeah,
Lights, action.
my uncle was my mother's brother, who was kind of like the figure of authority in the family. He lives in China. I'd been in Ireland for about 2 years. Sorry. My uncle came to visit, and when he visited me, he saw that I was doing things like, for example, I'll kick a ball by myself with no one else. I would just kick the football on the field.
Okay.
Or he would see me doing math homework, and because I saw every other kid did it, I would like count on my fingers. And he says, Steven's getting stupid. He's gonna come back to China. True story. Translated word for word, Steven's getting stupid. He needs to come back to China. 100%.
Wait, how does kicking a ball in the yard by yourself translate to being stupid?
It's because to him, smart kids are doing calculus, not kicking a ball in a field. And the math thing was, I get it, okay, fine. It looks dumb when you do this.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
And so I went, okay. I did what I was told. I went where I went, and that. So I want to ask you this. It's about the experience of immigrating to Ireland, and I believe it had a strong impact on me. When I first went to Ireland, I was 8 years old, and this is the story of the first day I was there. Give you a sense of how like much of a tiger mom my mom is. She had been around for 2 years, and I hadn't seen her in a long, long time. So she comes to China. She gets me. We go on a plane for like 16 hours from China to Ireland. We land. Precisely. I remember so well because of the emotional damage, just trauma that I still carry to this day. We landed at 8 a.m. My mom drove me to our house, and she's like, "This is the house you're going to live in now." I was like, "Wow, okay, what's going on here?" And I met my stepdad. I was like, "He's my dad now." And then she gave me an outfit. She put this on. I was like, "What? Okay, I put it on." And then she drove me to school. I was in school by 11. I was in school by 11 a.m.
From landing?
From landing, exactly. I will always remember that day. And that was one of the most impactful moments of me because...
You can just say scarring or traumatic, because that's what that sounds like.
So that's simple. That's easy for a fellow veteran like myself. The hard part was I was driving mom put me in the school, sent to the principal. Hey, Steven, hello, hello. Okay, and then she left. There was not one person who could speak Mandarin in miles. Okay. And 8-year-old me,
You spoke very good.
not a word. Not a word.
Wow.
My entire language was taken. And as an 8-year-old, I didn't have the social ability to go, all right, 不好意思，我听懂你说的话，让我 Google Translator. I didn't have that social ability. Google Translate didn't even exist back then. So for the next year, I became extremely introverted. And I hurt myself. I was a proud young fellow with my children. I was making friends, playing games. But because of that single situation, I became the child that was like sitting in the corner at lunch. In fact, I used to do this thing. It's really sad.
Action.
At lunch, I would buy a sandwich and I would continuously walk around the school pretending that I had somewhere I needed to get to.
Oh, I do that all the time.
But there was nowhere I could get to. I just had to wait until lunch was over. So here's what I want to ask you. I think it's possible that the experience kind of stifled my social abilities for like 20 years, 20 years, yeah, because I was just as introverted. I spent all of my teenage years in my bedroom playing video game. There was like one friend I met every now and then who was still playing video games. When I went to London, I was such a introvert that I felt great anxiety going to any kind of party or anything. So again, I took my bachelor's degree in my room. Only, I'd say in the last 5 years, 10 years, I guess it could be because of the acting training too, that I had opened up and found comfort in talking to people and making new friends. So that's a theory that I have, but I want to hear your take on it.
To say that it stifled it is hard to say.
Yeah.
Shifted,
Okay.
pivoted for certain because you had to adapt to your circumstances, and kids are really good at adapting and figuring things out. Just like how you were smart enough to figure out to walk around with a sandwich.
Did you really do
Yeah. I don't remember when I did that last, but the whole idea of walking around and pretending I'm going somewhere, I do that. Like I think I still do that to this day.
Oh.
You do not need to.
Yeah, but I do that. That's just like a thing I do.
Oh my
Like
god.
if I'm early for something, I'm like, oh, this is not the right building. I'm gonna walk around. But meanwhile, I know exactly where I need to go,
Gotcha.
but I just need to kill some time.
Okay, so it's not out of like.
So that strategy was a coping mechanism.
Yes, very much.
Did it impact you? Sure. Can we say that it was a negative thing? Hard to say. And I don't want to label it negative.
Yes. I am very, very grateful for that. Because the fact that I can speak English to this ability, it's
Yeah, how did you learn?
Hmm.
they put me in a
Well,
special
thanks for watching episode 15.